Greetings and welcome. Would you turn down $1 billion for your collection? It's pretty hard to say no to that, right? Most of us, though, we don't have $1 billion collection. So let's put it in perspective. Would you turn down any money for your collection? It's an uncomfortable question because at some point, everything has a price, at least in theory. But if a collection truly means something, its value isn't measured in market demand. It's measured in memory, connection, and meaning. When you spent years hunting down pieces, learning their stories, caring for them, sharing them, they stop being assets and they become chapters of your life. Selling them might make financial sense, but it can also feel like selling a piece of yourself. And that leads to something bigger. A collection, at its best, isn't about possession. It's about preservation. It's about protecting stories that otherwise would fade. Whether it's ball cards, autographs, guitars, vinyl records, etc. A personal collection becomes a physical timeline of things that shaped you. It reflects your taste, your curiosity, your obsessions, and your values. Next week, the Jim Irsay Collection is set to be auctioned off by Christie's. When the news broke last October that it was going to go under the hammer, it intrigued me immensely, and with a little bit of sadness, which is weird when thinking about being sad about a billionaire's hobby. For those who don't know, Jim Irsay was the CEO and owner of the Indianapolis Colts until his passing in April of 2025. His collection was eccentric as he was, but it wasn't a bunch of items with six-figure price tags on it. It was a remarkable archive of music, film, sports memorabilia, and historic Americana ever assembled. Items include Ringo Starr's Ed Sullivan Show drum kit, Bob Dylan's handwritten lyrics of The Times They Are A-Changin', Coltrane saxophone, Kurt Cobain's Smells Like Teen Spirit Mustang, and the list goes on and on. Although Irsay's collection is much vaster than just his guitar collection, I'm going to focus on his guitars, as it's likely the most comprehensive and historically significant private guitar collection in the world. What intrigues me the most is that Irsay understood his privilege. When he spent millions on instruments that shaped the music that he loved, he didn't just acquire them, he invested in sharing them. He made sure these treasures didn't spend their lives trapped behind glass, locked away from the public. He reportedly turned down an offer of over $1 billion to sell his collection outright to Dubai. He believed these were culturally important objects, pieces of American social and musical history, and they should remain accessible to people. Between 2021 and his death, a lot of his collection traveled across country as a living museum. The Jim Irsay Collection would come to a city and go on display to the general public so people could experience these iconic pieces of history up close. And then there was the Jim Irsay Band, a revolving door of musicians like Buddy Guy, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Stephen Stills, Vince Gill. They would perform using the collection's instruments so the audience could hear and feel them in the way they were meant to be experienced. Irsay had a dream of giving his collection a permanent museum, a museum that would have been interactive and alive. But that dream sadly died with Irsay. The world's most remarkable and important guitar collection will be broken up and sold to collectors who will probably be more inclined to keep their new treasures locked away from the public. And that's where the story shifts from being about a billionaire's archive to something that applies to all of us. Because eventually, every collection faces the same question: what will happen to your collection? Will it be boxed up and dispersed when you're gone? Will it sit unseen in storage? Will it be auctioned off by lot, its story being reduced to lot numbers? Will it be carried forward? Does your family even want it? Some families won't. Some will say it's not their burden to carry, and they're right. The truth is humbling. This is our collection, not theirs. Passion is not hereditary. Devotion cannot be assigned in a will. And not everyone wants to inherit the labor, logistics, and emotional weight of selling, cataloging, or preserving what someone else loved. One day, like Irsay's, every collection changes hands. Not just in ownership, but in identity, the context, and continuity. I've spent a long time trying to make sense of this, searching for some lesson or answer that I'm not even sure even exists. The best that I can come up with is this. If you're going to collect with purpose, share it, tell its story, document it, and let other people experience it. Most of us won't build $1 billion archives of cultural history, but on a smaller scale, we all curate something. The real power of collection doesn't lie in owning it. It lies in what it means, while it's in your hands, not just to you, but to others. Thank you for watching, and enjoy your collection.